let's get into it. Let's break down UFC 284. Give us a rundown of what happened. Most of us would have seen everything. But we'll go right through. Shout out to all the Aussies. Obviously, not everyone got the victory, but everyone put on a show for the Aussie crowd, which was amazing. The crowd was sensational. The support that we had all week, from open workouts, press conference, to the weigh-ins, all the way to the fights, after the fights, you name it, the support, man, it was good to be back in Australia. Walking out and hearing the crowd go nuts like that, singing the song, laying down under, everyone just getting into it, the roar you could hear. It was good to be back in Australia and really be able to perform in front of them. I guess Islam put on quite a show. Good close fight for them, back and forth, and a lot happening. Obviously I'm gutted. Close fight. You know, you're going to hear people say robbery and things like this, and close fights like that, you know, you can never say they're robberies. Can you see it going my way? Yeah. Can people see it going his way? Yeah, that's going to happen. Do I think we did enough after watching back the tape? Yeah, I do. I'm sure he would say the same when he watches it, you know what I mean? There was obviously a few rounds, a couple of rounds that were very close rounds that could have, you know, they're the swing rounds. There was a couple clearer rounds for each of us. One thing with the striking, I said going in that he has a good eye. I always knew he had a good eye. I knew he would be good with distance. I knew he would probably look more for the count. I didn't think he would attack as much. I thought he would attack a little bit more, but I think I had him a little bit puzzled, so he was just waiting for the counters. And he was patiently waiting. He didn't bite too much. He did here and there, but like I said, he had a good eye where he would wait for me to come in. Obviously caught a couple of shots. Obviously I'd land coming in as well. He surprised me a little bit on the feet, and I guess I surprised him on the ground with some of the exchanges. Even when he first grabbed the hold of me, I was like, all right, yeah, he's nothing too crazy here. You know, obviously I'm very comfortable with how strong I am. But yeah, he ended up getting a hook in, and then I was playing a bit safe. I feel like I could have maybe scrambled out, but I was worried I might take a risk. I didn't know enough by then to do that, but I knew he couldn't get the submission. That's why you see me like giving everyone a shot, because I'm all good. Don't worry about it, because I didn't think there was a submission threat there, but I wasn't comfortable enough to just scramble out of there, which what I know now probably would be a different story, but that doesn't matter, right? I'm sure he would say the same thing when it comes to certain things that he did that he could change in the fight. Going into it, the first round, very competitive, and then he got my back. You know, I ended up getting him, rattling him. I think he got a good one on me as well. But yeah, and then he ended up finishing that round on my back, and a couple of submission defenses. So obviously you're going to give that round to him. Second round, in the fight, I remember in the fight, well, you know, I was going back to the corner. I'm like, you know, how are we? How are these rounds? And they're like, we don't know. But like, that's how, you know, obviously your coaches are always going to be, how they should be. They shouldn't just tell you, oh yeah, even if you think you might have won. When there's close rounds like that, you never tell your student that he's up, you know what I mean? You should always tell them that we need to work. So we're like, yeah, we don't know, we're not sure. So third round comes, again, another very close round that, you know, we're pretty comfortable with. In the fourth round, yeah, early on, can't remember, I think it was still pretty good on the feet, but then he ended up getting the takedown. I think I was looking at his corner, I'm like, nah, I'm up. And I end up just like going up to him like that, and as I do, go onto the cage, and then, because I'm usually pretty good in their positions, but I think I was being a little too cheeky, and he just jumped and got both hooks. Usually it's very hard for people to get two hooks on me like that, and he did, and he got the body triangle straight away, which obviously bit me in the ass. Me being cheeky bit me in the ass, so I'll learn from that one. And then again, in a close fight like that, you can do what you can to win. I don't feel like he was trying to look for the finish there. I think he knew that I'd be very hard to submit. He just wanted to make sure he didn't lose a position, make sure he stayed in a dominant position. But obviously I was trying to rev the crowd up, rev myself up, try and get in his head a little bit, and then I started mouthing off to him, just saying, come on, mate, you said you'll finish me. You're just going to hang on. You're just trying to survive. It should have been up to me to get myself out of there, not him just let go, you know what I mean? So, but I'm still going to stir him up anyway, yeah, have a bit of fun with it. The last round comes in. So we're obviously thinking, you know, we definitely need this last round. good chance this is 2-2 going into this last round. So we go in, and then I feel like I've got a decent read on him. I'm not going to give him as much respect on the ground. I feel like I'm strong. I feel like I'm better in the exchanges. I'm better in the scrambles. Maybe even go for takedowns myself. So I felt like, I wanted to back myself more in the last round. So we started going. I think it was very early in that round. I think it was pretty good, still back and forth. And then you really started to see Islam tie. He sort of tied in the 4th round, but then he got that body lock. But in the 5th round, you seen him tire. So I started to landing a little bit more shots. He started shooting. I think he had a single leg, and I'm turned the corner real good, in a very good position that we worked on a lot, very comfortable there. Knew that I'd be strong there. Come up, we sort of went there again, and then just pushed him off, got my leg out, and that's when I knew, like, he's broken. Let's get on him. Then I think I got him in the cage, and I started looking for some takedowns. Going leg trips and all that type of stuff, body locks and getting him down, and that's where you sort of see me start to overpower him a fair bit there and really start to crumble him. And you got to remember, the crowd's going nuts. This fight's back and forth. They know this last round, how important it is, so that's what they're thinking in their head. This is just a crazy close fight. Things are starting to go look in my favour towards the end of the round. Then I end up obviously dropping him, getting on top, and then the crowd's just erupting, which was incredible. Going for the ground and pound and just going absolutely ham, and for at least a minute and a half the crowd was deafening for that whole crowd, and then I'm just going absolutely ham, and then the fight's over. There's that moment that we were talking about, one of the biggest fights, the biggest fight in Australian history, breaking all records. My moment and all that, I'm obviously happy. The crowd, everyone's happy. We think we did enough. Everyone's going nuts, and man, what a feeling. It was a great feeling. But again, we knew it was close. I still knew it was close. So I ain't gonna say I definitely thought I won. Definitely not, it wasn't that type of fight. We knew it was very close, and I knew it could have went either way. So disappointed. But again, very close fight. Different judges could obviously score it different. That's just the game, right? Not a robbery, very close fight that could have gone either way. I thought I did win. I watched it back. I thought 2 and 3 were pretty comfortable saying I thought I won them. But again, very close fight, fun fight. Still, I think people will be talking about it for ages. Obviously, both our stocks still rise. Everyone was buzzing about it. A lot of people hyped up and talking about it. So I know a lot of people are going, oh, look, your stocks rise, you should still be happy. But I'm not happy. Obviously, I want to win. That's just how I am. I'm a competitor. I haven't got to where I am with a mindset of just being happy with things like that. I went into that fight knowing that I can win, and I didn't get my hand raised. So I'm gutted. Whether people were surprised by the outcome or not, or were surprised by how well I did in the wrestling and all that, I don't care about that. I expected that. A lot of people didn't. I was the underdog. I was undersized. It was a David and Goliath sort of story, and it was all that. And that's why that moment was so close. But what do you do? Obviously, the co-main event, Rodriguez looked great. I won't get into it too much. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I watched enough to see that he was on, he was sharp. He's a dangerous striker, right? So that's going to be a fun fight. That excites me still. We'll see when that fight's going to happen. But yeah, obviously I want a rematch. The UFC's touched on it backstage. A couple of the guys, Hunter and a few of the guys. Islam touched on it. Me and Islam were talking about it. I was talking to his team about it. So we all said we're going to do it, but let's hope it gets over the line. So I'm going to push for it because I know I can get that win. I know I could have got that win that night, right? And I feel like the next time we step in there, I've definitely got it figured out. So I'm ready for that again. It'll be fun. It'll be another cracking fight for the world to see. But again, thanks for everyone for the support. Everyone that turned up there, everyone that tuned in, everyone that bought the pay-per-view, all that stuff. I'm really appreciative. I thank you so much. And again, till next time. Peace.